This is a province of British Columbia death registration from 1946. It records the passing of Francis Blyth Kirby, a 63-year-old clerk who spent his final decades working quietly in a government liquor store. But look closely at who signed the paperwork. The informant is listed as Lydia Pownery, is officially checked. That is a lie. Thousands of miles away, his wife Kathleen was still very much alive. This piece of provincial bureaucracy is exactly what Francis Kirby wanted it to be. It is the final, successful cover story for a man who spent 30 years meticulously deleting his true identity. 32 years earlier, Kirby's reality was entirely different. By 1914, he was living in Rostov-on-Don, a major port city deep in the Russian Empire. He was the son of a Liverpool corn broker who had climbed the social ladder. He had a wife, 2 young children, and a prestigious appointment as the British acting vice-consul. When World War I broke out, Kirby became a vital set of eyes for London. This is a handwritten letter he drafted to the Foreign Office in November 1914, marked for the attention of Sir Edward Grey. In it, he details a private conversation with an Armenian prince, warning London about the fragile political situation in the Caucasus, and noting that 60,000 Armenians had already volunteered to fight the Turks. He was a highly connected diplomat, passing sensitive intelligence to the highest levels of the British government. And the chaos of the Great War provided him with the perfect geopolitical cover to pack his bags, leave his family, and never go back. By 1916, Kirby had relocated to New York City. He was commissioned as an officer and assigned to a suite of offices at 44 Whitehall Street. This was the American headquarters for M1C, the organization that would eventually become MI6. This document, stamped with the MI1 seal, shows the caliber of the operation. Kirby was one of only 8 staff members running a high-stakes intelligence network that reported directly back to the Ministry of Munitions in London. His day-to-day work involved sifting through the wartime frenzy of neutral America. He tracked munitions touts, investigated fraudulent offers for trucks, and gathered evidence on fake passports. He developed a sharp eye for fraud. In this confidential intelligence report from his desk, Kirby dissects the case of a man named Leopold Gravel, flatly declaring him an imposter masquerading as a Russian official to steal shrapnel contracts. His intelligence was valuable enough to reach the top of the chain of command. This copy of a letter shows David Lloyd George, the future Prime Minister, personally reviewing reports sourced from the New York Bureau. Kirby spent his days expertly identifying men who were living under false pretenses. Yet, by severing all contact with his wife and children across the Atlantic, he was actively constructing a false life of his own. After 1915, the paper trail confirms a stark geographic reality. There is no evidence Francis and his wife, Kathleen, ever set foot in the same country again. He actively chose danger over domestic life. Kirby deployed to the Western Front with the Royal Garrison Artillery and was taken prisoner by the Germans at the Battle of Fleur Bay in 1918. When the armistice was signed, he was released, but instead of returning to his family in Liverpool, he traveled in the opposite direction. He crossed the United States and sailed for Vladivostok, deep in the chaos of the Russian Civil War. In Siberia, he wrote articles on local politics for a New York magazine, operating under the commercial cover of a grain shipper. He used the fractured, war-torn map of the early 20th century as a physical barrier. The Great War gave him a reason to leave. The Russian Revolution gave him a reason to stay away. In 1925, Kirby stepped off a boat from Hong Kong and walked into Vancouver. Here, at the edge of the Pacific, his reinvention was complete. For the next 20 years, he lived as a solitary rooming house lodger, quietly clocking in at the liquor store. He never spoke of the diplomatic corps, the espionage in New York, or the family he left behind. The silence worked entirely. In 2026, his surviving granddaughter, born in 1938, wrote that Kirby's wife Kathleen was a very difficult person and that her husband chose to leave her. She added a crucial detail. Growing up, she never once heard her grandfather's name mentioned. Whatever happened in that marriage, Kirby's decision to walk away triggered a mutual erasure. He deleted his family from his life, and his family deleted him from their memory. But you cannot erase a paper trail left inside the British intelligence archives. This confidential 1916 memo on Colt machine guns is just one of many surviving records detailing his espionage work. His family forgot him, but the state preserved his signature, his diplomatic letters, and his intelligence reports as vital historical evidence. He was a professional at uncovering the secrets of other men, while successfully burying his own. Francis Blyth Kirby's most successful intelligence operation was his own disappearance. He managed to vanish completely, leaving behind only the silhouette of a paper ghost.